I'm doing my final broadcast there if anybody's interested. Yeah. All right. Jerks would just get out of my damn way. Come on, dude. What are you doing? Move! So this is going to be my final test broadcast. I wanted to give it one more shot without the without the Bluetooth again. Mainly because Mythos said they really liked it, so the way that it sounded, I just decided to give it another shot, see how it goes. Today's been a fucking day already. But I got some stress stuff that I took for. Shut the fuck up! God, fucking toads. Anyway, I got some of that stress stuff that I like so much earlier and took some of it. And, it hasn't quite kicked in yet. It takes a minute. But I can already sort of feel it. You know, it's coming along. Getting a little calmer. I'm not. So, I was very aggravated a minute ago, and I didn't hit anything or get angry. I was just, this is frustrating, but I can deal with it. It's the stress gummies are really amazing how they work. I don't know how they work as well as they do, but man, do they work. Some real good shit. Yeah. So I'm just driving along here, and so I'm heading into Jasper, I think. If I remember correctly. It's just the downtown area of Jasper coming up ahead. Start heading up the mountain, go to Altamont, where I don't like going, but at least they've only got a handful. I think they got 6 things today. I think that's it. They've got 6, and I'll be all good. I'd like to get them out of the way and move on with my life, but I don't like going up there. It's such a chore just to drive up that mountain for one stop, and it's never convenient with them. But anywho, so I had my birthday yesterday. I'm 35 now, and don't I feel like an absolute winner? Yeah, 35 and never did anything with my life would be. But all that's gonna change soon because it took me getting to 30 before I met like the person that would really change my life. That's an ambulance. Shit. See, there it goes. But no, it took until 30 to meet Audrey, so I think I was 30 when I met Audrey. I don't know. It was so long ago now that I don't even, whatever. So, and we are making shit happen. That's some good shit coming up the pipeline, so to speak. And I can't wait. I can't wait. With a lot of it, it's gonna be good times ahead. We've got some great ideas on some things, and it's gonna make them happen. And then me and Jaden talked the other night. And, we got a game plan going forward for TWE stuff in regards to IWTV. And it's I made a promise. By God, I intend to keep it. So that's gonna be fun too. And I got Joe helping me out with that. He's a real mensch when it comes to that sort of stuff. I was a little pissed with him before, but he really came through in a big bad way, knocking out a lot of stuff that I just couldn't deal with at the time because of my pain and shit. Because this job is really rough on you, especially when you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're up for a few hours, like lifting totes, pulling things, and just by the time you get to this moment of the day, I've already been, working for 7 hours. I'm sore already. My arms are hurting. I just took some Excedrin, which I don't know. I always like the acetaminophen and aspirin more than anything else. I mean, ibuprofen's good too, but those are like those are my two mainstays when it comes to pain relief, and that's usually what I take. And those are actually designed for headaches, not arm aches. So I don't know, but I don't wonder if I should go with the. Cause I am in the good old grappling business. If I should go with the old wrestler staple, maybe get some muscle relaxers or something. Cause that might be part of the problem. Is that I'm so all the time. Make my arms stop hurt because it's muscle. It's muscle strain is what it is. It's not. My arms aren't hurting because I hit something with them. It's not like I banged my arm on something. It's because I've been lifting totes and shit all day. My arms are wore out. A lot of people say like Tiger Balm or like Icy Hot and stuff. I'm gonna be all greasy. I'm gonna be greasy. Hey, greasy. Oh, J-Rock, he makes greasy movies. It's greasy. There's a little Bubbles impression. But now I'm just stuck behind a guy pulling a lawnmower. Come on, dude. I know for a fact it ain't no fucking 30 through here. Hurry the fuck up. God, this guy is driving way slow. Outside of that, I really don't have anything to talk about. That's part of the problem with this. So I was thinking about doing this show like twice a week, like when I'm going between stops between my South Pittsburgh, or I guess technically it's Kimball, Tennessee stop and my Altamont stop. And between those two stops, I've got like a good almost an hour of just driving. I'm not doing anything else. It's just going from point A to point B, driving. And I started thinking about it. I was thinking to myself, I was like, you know what? That would be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That'd be a perfect opportunity for me to get on here and do a show. And I know like the Rising Tide Network, which I'm a big fan of. Like I know they got shows on Tuesday and Thursday, the Ted Davies shows. But like, I can always go back and watch those if they do anything that interests me. They're not really like they're. One of them's an interview show where he interviews somebody, or sometimes he'll just talk about stuff. Most of the time, though, he's like interviewing somebody. That's cool, but if I'm not interested really in who he's interviewing, I always watch the episode later. And I don't really have a whole lot of questions for most of his guests. The rest of the time, he's just kind of BSing for like 30 minutes to an hour. And then the other half of that is on Thursdays, he does the thing about watches, the TED Talks timepieces. And I'm like, that's cool and all, man. Like, having a little show about your hobbies. He collects watches. Watches are cool. I don't wear one myself, but they're neat. That's just not my bag, So I was thinking, it's not really. I'm not really gonna hurt anybody's feelings. I don't think if I just if I did that, I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal to go through and do a show at the same exact time he's doing his shows, because his shows are going to cater to a different audience. My show, if I was going to do one like this, would be catering to A, my friends, and B, people, I guess people are just really interested in what it's like behind the wheel. Obviously I don't have a semi, I have a van, but I'm still a delivery driver. I'm still a courier. I still have to go from point A to point B, drop off item, and then C, D, E, F, all the way through my route for the day. And just kind of getting an insight into, like, what is it like to be that guy? What's it like to be the, having the, wearing the driving gloves and the, having a mullet and smoking the cigarettes and drinking the Mountain Dew and coffee and trying to stay awake for hours at a time, I think that would be, I think personally that people might find that neat. And also, it gives me an opportunity to vent about a few things. I can just, talk about whatever, and even if I don't have anything to vent about, maybe it's been a good day. I can talk about what I can celebrate, hey, wasn't that bad of a morning. Obviously, I haven't got to, Wiley's yet, but because they're not bad people. They're rude sometimes, but so am I. It's just I hate this drive up here, and the place is smaller than Decimal. It's real tiny. And I look at that and I just go like, how are you so small? I bought a big car. I spent a lot of money buying this car. Big, huge industrial car. It cost me something like $160 or something like that. Right? And it was a fold up car. This thing's huge, man. It's designed to hold like 770 pounds or something. Like it's gigantic. Big steel and aluminum construction. Huge like rubber casters on it and stuff. I mean, this was real deal good stuff, and it's beat up now, but when I first got it, it's pristine and stuff. It's seen a lot of wear and tear, but it's still going good. Like it still works pretty good. It makes a lot of noise when you move it around because it never has enough weight on it to really prevent the casters from going while I'm trying to move it. But it works really well. The problem is this place that I'm going to and another place that I go to in Manchester are so tiny and they're so small that cart doesn't fit. Like it fits. Like I've made it work, but it's just such a nightmare and a hassle to get in and out of that place with the cart. Like it's just it got to the point where if they had only a few things, I'd carry them in, and that was just getting to be too much work. So I got one of the carts at work. I grabbed it, and it's a folding hand truck. Like you can fold it out into a cart, or you can just use it as a hand truck. And since I don't have any locations that have a whole lot of items, That was actually working out pretty good for me there. And so I started using that. I like it a little bit better. They can hold, the one that I have can hold like 3 stacks of items, and it's pretty sturdy. It doesn't like want to flip over or anything like that. At least I haven't had that happen yet. I've had the hand truck fall over a couple of times, but and it's pretty good sturdy construction. It's just, it's old and it's beat up, and one of the latches was broken on it, so I had to replace it, and I replaced it with 2 carabiners, and one of the carabiners broke, and it's just, it's an old cart, so it's, and it's heavy because it's a big industrial cart, but I can't use my big white cart anymore that I bought, so I have to use this thing, which is kind of a pain, but I can at least get in and out of locations easier with it, and that's really all that matters to me, is being able to get in and out of these places without too much trouble. So, but that's the main thing about these 2 stops, why I can't use that cart. And just going up this mountain, going up this hill, it's just this long drive. Boring as all hell. I'm telling you right now, like, I have trees and then trees, right? There's a couple of orange poles. There's a mailbox. I can't even see the house that mailbox goes to. There's a couple of houses there. There's another house there. There's a cabin way off in the distance. A few more houses. That's a double wide trailer back there. There's a barn. Some kind of shanty shack thing. There's a garage. And then more fucking trees. This whole entire side, there's nothing over here. It's just trees. Beautiful area, though. Like, don't get me wrong. There's actually a couple houses on this side now. Beautiful area, don't get me wrong. Up here in the mountains is wonderful. It's great scenery. You want to talk about what people think of when they think of the way that the Appalachians should look. This is it. It's just trees and hills, and it's mountain, and it's awesome. And during the winter, like, this place just becomes a winter wonderland. It is straight up, because we're so high in elevation. You get legit snow up here, like serious snowfall, which is cool because you don't get that where I live in Chattanooga. So I'm in the valley, and we don't get snowfall very often. And when we do, it rarely does it ever stick. And when it does stick, it's bad. Like, everybody freaks out. But this is nice. This is real nice. And we didn't get this prior to, or I didn't get to see anything like this prior to me doing this job. Occasionally in my old job, I'd spit house up in Knoxville. We would get snow anyway. But this is different. And like I said, it's beautiful countryside. You get to see some really cool sights, very rural area. There's not a city in sight. And I do get to towns, they're very small. And, the worst thing that I see 9 times out of 10 is, occasionally I'll see a dead cow. See that occasionally. And then, like, I see political stuff all the time. Obviously it's a rural area. It's very much conservative, very much pro Donald Trump. And there is some, what I suspect might be some kind of white supremacist sort of stuff going on up here. I don't know. I'm not going to really judge anybody too harshly, but I've seen some interesting bumper stickers on some vehicles. Let's just say that. But for the most part, it's a really nice area. Everything up here is very beautiful. Like, I just went past this house. They've got a field of flowers, and it's awesome. Like, it just looks great up here. It's just boring. Like there's no red lights. There's no restaurants. Barely any gas stations. Like, it's the most boring drive. By the time I get to my next stop, leave there, go to my next area, which is a city. It is a full-on city with tons of businesses and tall buildings, and it's not it's not like Nashville, but it's a city. It's an actual full-on town with, like, legit businesses and stuff. Not saying any businesses up here aren't legit. I'm just saying it is. It's different when It's different when I go past, like, on this route, I go past, like, 2 gas stations and, no, 3 gas stations. Forgot about the one in Altamont itself. Like, 3 gas stations, right? And that's it. Like, that's all that's up here. It's 3 gas stations, a pharmacy, and then, like, there's a boutique or something, you know? As compared to when I get to this place, I'll pass, like, 20 gas stations, like, there's Walmart, Zaxby's, McDonald's, it's all there, you know? There's everything is there. You got all sorts of, there's laundromats, there's, you know, it's a legit town. And then you know, it's no longer boring, you know? It's not exactly the you know, the prettiest thing to look at, you know? It's cool, but it's not like, there's some pretty cool artwork and stuff. They got some murals on some of the sides of the buildings, but it's not like up here where it's just like landscape, you know? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But I mean, it's just the whole entire time I'm driving, I'm like, yeah, I'm tired, you know? I was faking that yawn at first, and then it became real. And this doing this, staying talking and knowing that, like, hey, I'm on camera. You know, anybody can go back and watch this. There's 2 people watching live right now that can comment if they wanted to, and I'd see their comments, and I can talk to them and stuff. Keeps me engaged, keeps me awake, keeps me focused on being able to, you know, get from point A to point B without crashing into something or falling asleep or something like that. As compared to, like, if I wasn't doing this. If I wasn't doing this, I'd just have a podcast on and I'd be like, you know, passing out the whole time. Or, like, I don't know, sometimes I would put on tunes, but man, this radio sucks. Radio in this van is blown speakers because I don't know who drove this van prior to. Well, I know Dennis used to drive. Well, no, because this isn't even the van that goes. This isn't the correct van for this route. I looked at that on the paperwork. This isn't the correct van that goes to this route. If I'm reading the paperwork correctly, the clock-in paperwork, when I read it, it seems like this van is actually supposed to be on the Athens route. Which would make sense why the speakers are blown. Because the guy who used to drive on that Athens route, he would turn the music up really loud. And he listened to nothing but, like, hip-hop and rap. So that explains why the speakers are blown. But, like, I don't know. It just sounds like crap. Whenever I'm trying to listen to music in this thing, it just sounds terrible. And I don't want to, it's annoying. And I have to, like, because it's a garbage radio, I have to turn it up really loud in order to even hear anything, and it gets all distorted because the speakers are blown, and it's a pain in the ass. I don't want to deal with it. Not to mention the fact that, like, I got all this stuff behind me making noise while I'm driving, and that's annoying enough as it is. But then you add on the fact that, like, oh, my music sounds like crap too, and I don't want to. So I basically just listen to, like, podcasts and interviews. Been listening to a lot of shoot interviews with wrestlers lately, which is pretty cool. I'm sure the deadbeat. It's Tuesday. I'm not 100% sure, but I think being the key word, it's Tuesday. I know the Chelsea Rebecca said that the Dead Meat podcast is probably going to take a few month hiatus, but I don't know when that's going to start. So I think that there's going to be an episode of the Dead Meat podcast uploaded at some point today. I just don't know when. It hasn't been uploaded yet. So, you know, that might be something I listen to later on this afternoon. I will say that I did attempt to earlier today. Watch the episode of TED Talks that was premiering. I guess he pre-recorded it, which gave me some ideas about SBCL. But he had said it to for kids, not like it. You know, he didn't set it to like. He basically said it to the thing that's like, this is made specifically for kids. And whenever you do that, it makes it so that you can't. Like if you tab out of the window or shrink it or do anything like that, it'll automatically end it. It won't let you listen because it says something about like this functionality is disabled when watching a video that's made for kids. I don't understand why that is a thing, but okay. I don't know. It's weird, and I don't like it. So because of that, I couldn't listen to Ted do his thing while I was driving. So there goes that. But 3 days out of the week when I'm not doing that, which like I said, I don't know if I'm going to continue doing this or not on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But the other 3 days of the week, of course, I'm watching Nevermind the Furthermore and chatting on that because it's always fun to make Brian K. Morris's head explode. Pop that fez right off his head with some funny statements and telling him about my day and stuff. And he always makes me feel better, because he's an unbelievably positive person. Like he is just an awesome dude who is very uplifting. Unlike some other people I know who are not. But I'm not going to name any names there because, if I said something, they'd probably get their feelings hurt. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm just saying that, like, I got some friends of mine that, like, are the exact opposite of positive influences. Like, they're more like, we're going to put you down because we love you, mama's boy, sort of stuff. That's a quote from Stefan Ollie. Oh my God, I'm stuck behind the septic truck hauling a porta shitter, and he won't get the fuck out of the way. I do like the fact that the back of his truck says for sewage only. It's like, yeah, no shit, dude. Well, I guess all shit. But yeah, it's like, what else are you gonna put in that damn thing? Grease. That makes me think about that episode of Simpsons where Homer was selling grease and trying to make money off of it, and he did this by buying a bunch of bacon. Later on in the episode of the show, there's a semi truck with it's done up like one of those septic trucks with like the pump and everything, with a big long hose, like siphoning fucking grease out of like grease traps and stuff. But the part that I was thinking about just a minute ago was Homer decides to sell grease, and the only way he knows how to get grease is to make bacon. So he cooks bacon at home, and he just throws the bacon away and keeps the grease. It makes like 67 cents out of all the bacon that he did that with. And Homer shows at the Bart. He's like, "Look, we made 67 cents." Bart's like, "Yeah, but that bacon costs like $50." That was pretty funny. See weird stuff out here too. Like sometimes, like I see weird things while driving anyway. But sometimes you just see stuff and you're just like, what? Oftentimes I'll see like these ramshackle like shanty shack things. They're just like they look like my old treehouse but with windows. It's like, who the hell built that? Ridiculous. Or like There's a pool hall back here I just went past called the Green Room, which I thought was really funny. I took a picture of it and sent it to Carl Witzman because I was like, hey, look, I found the Green Room. But it has no windows. There's no windows on the place, right? It's just like there's like a set of double doors that are wooden, and then there's like one big security door at the very end, which I guess is like the employee entrance, and that's it. Like there's no windows on the building whatsoever. It looks like a bomb shelter or like a substation or something. It's very weird. There's some other weird things I've seen. But like, I've seen, as I've been driving through, like I'll see, you see a house, right? And the house will look fine. The house looks amazing, actually. Because a lot of the places out here are very well built, very nice, very pretty. It's, I mean, these are people who like have lots of money. That's why they can afford to live all the way out here in the middle of nowhere. And they keep their places very tidy and nice. Right next door from that place, because we're talking about places that have like a pool and they've got like a fountain in their front yard. I mean, it's $1 million home, right? And right next door is a guy that has like refrigerators on his lawn, and there's tons of scrap metal and cars, and looks like half of his house burnt down. And there's a gutted garage with like the gutter, the rafters are the only things that are left, and and the sheet metal, like the roof is gone. And there's like, it looks like that Eartha Kitt, her character in Ernest Scared Stupid, she had the flamethrower. She was like she was super old, but like she saw her family get turned into wooden dolls by the trolls. She like that property, the place that she lives in, that's what it looks like. And just imagine that, like right next door to the nicest house you've ever seen. That's what it's like out here sometimes. Or like, you have all this lush green scenery. Like I just passed one that made me think about this. You have all this lush green scenery, or it's kind of springtime, so things are starting to bloom, but stuff, a lot of dead trees and stuff like that. But like, you get what I'm saying? Like there's all this nice, it's pretty. You got grass on the ground, there's some leaves on the trees. Things are starting to come back. Yes, we just had a cold snap, right? And then you'll go past this property, and it looks like a dark, out there in the Badlands sort of thing. Like it's like dirt and it's just like sand looking. Even I know it's not sand because we don't have sand up here in the mountains, but it just looks like that sort of thing. Like out there, like Albuquerque, sort of looking. That's like you go past it. It's like I'm in the mountains of Tennessee. Why does it look like I'm on the set of Breaking Bad all of a sudden? And then it'll go right back to green scenery. Very strange stuff. Or like, I've seen this a lot too, like a building I just passed. To see a building that's for sale, and it's been for sale for about 20 years. No one's buying it because the place looks like, but it looks like the meth den. Like that should be the name of the business. It just looks like a place where they sell meth. There's one coming up in Colmont that I've seen. That it used to be a gas station. I don't know what it is now. I think it's a restaurant now or something. Or it was. I mean, it was turned into you can tell it used to be a gas station. It got turned into a restaurant, and the restaurant closed. Now the building's for sale, but the building is like run down and awful. And it's just like, unless they're selling the land too, which I guess if they're selling the building, they're selling the land. But like, that'd be the only way I'd see that being profitable. Like, just sell it for the land and everything that comes on it, just destroy it. That's the only way you're gonna make any money doing that. Because this place just looks like crap. So that's something I can bring up right there. If you're I'm a person who is like, hey, you and watching your live stream, and if you do this, I'll follow you, sort of thing. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Fuck off. Again, I do this for fun. I don't do this to make money or profit or anything like that. Like I said, this is a test stream anyway. It's not gonna be it might not be a constant thing. I might not do this all the time. If you don't want to follow me for me, I don't fucking care. Fuck you. Go follow somebody else. If you want to be cool and hang out in the chat and talk, that sort of thing. But I'm not gonna do some stupid, dumb meme crap or whatever. Whatever. Who cares? Oh. I've never noticed how purple the roof on that house is. Oh, that's not a house, it's a church. Holy shit. Purple roof on that church. That church has a purple helmet. Anyway, it's your requisite dick joke for the day. But then you see other weird things when you're up here too. Like, I'm going through this area, right? And it's just everything that's down through here is rustic and rural. Like, all the houses and the churches and the other buildings, everything's all rustic and rural. And then I pass modern architecture, like back there. It's like there's a Grundy County like office back there for like I'm guessing it's like a county seat or something back there. Some kind of Grundy County like office. We got like a county hall or something here in Colmont, and I don't know what it's for, but it looks modern. And then you're like, it's literally right next to places that look like they were built back in the 30s, and possibly even before then. And this place looks like it was built, a couple of years ago. It's just really weird. You got I just realized what that said. There's a sign I just passed that said Antioch Baptist Church, which isn't that from Uneasy Rider? I forget who performs that song. I want to say Waylon Jennings performed that song. Uneasy Rider, where he he's driving through a small town. I think he said he's in Mississippi in the song. But he goes through this town, and he gets a flat tire, and he has to go, get the car worked on. And the guy's like, "Well, it's going to be a couple of hours or something." He's like, "Why don't you go over there to that bar? We'll call you when it's ready." And so as the song goes, he goes into the bar and then realizes that it's not a place that's hippie friendly, because it's in the South and the song's about a hippie. So he takes his hair and puts it up under his cowboy hat so nobody can see his long hair, right? And then he goes in, he sits down and have a drink and wait for his car to be ready. Well, the good old boys walk in the door, and they immediately start harassing him because he's a stranger. And they got a girl with them, and the one guy looks at him and he's just ignoring him, and he's just all like, "Hey, you tip your hat to this lady, son." And then when he goes to do that, like, all his hippie hair falls out. And so everybody, now realizes, like, wait a minute, this guy's a hippie. And they start to get, ornery about it. He grabs a chair and he hits the guy. And he's telling everybody, like, watch out. He's actually a spy. He's from the FBI, and he's come down here. He's going to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan. and he's one of those commie pinko freaks, and I bet he has a communist flag in his garage and all this other stuff. And there that part of the song, everybody's looking at the guy like looking at him, eyeing him, being all suspicious because they're wondering if the guy who the main character of the story, if he's telling the truth. And the guy gets up and he's all like, "Now just wait a minute, you know me, I've lived here all my life." And he says he goes to the Antioch Baptist Church, and I ain't even got a garage. You can call home and ask my wife. But then, of course, then they figure out that he's he just ran out the door. He's going to go get in his car, and he tears his ass out of there. And the end of the story, he's just all like, "I wonder if people think I'd flipped if I went to LA by Omaha." That's a good song. I haven't heard that song in forever, dude. I'll have to listen to that song. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm almost there. I did them outside of doing this, chilling me out a little bit. Stress things kicked in. And I also had Starbucks has their little, they had double shot, right? You can get a double shot. It's a metal can, aluminum can, with coffee. You get flavored coffee. And they don't have coffee flavored coffee. You pretty much get vanilla, mocha, chocolate. You can't just get coffee flavored coffee. Well, they had one that was I already threw the can away, so I have no idea what flavor I got. I can't remember. I think it was a French vanilla flavor, but it was cool about it was that it was like I said, it was like a French vanilla or something, but it was instead of a double shot, it was a triple shot, 225 milligrams of caffeine in a can. It was like, holy crap. So I was like, you know what? I'm that damn tired because I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to get that. And I got it and drank it. And it was pretty damn good. It was very coffee flavored. But it was that kind of coffee flavor I can deal with, So that was all right. That's the thing. A lot of people think I hate coffee, and it's like I don't hate coffee. I hate hot drinks. Even people are like, "Oh man, do you like hot cocoa?" No, I used to when I was a kid. I loved hot cocoa. I don't anymore. I've gotten over hot drinks. I like my drinks. If I like my drinks at least room temperature or less. I don't like them too cold, but I do like a cold drink over a warm drink, and especially over a hot drink. I do not like hot drinks at all. They make me feel weird. Just entered Altamont, and as I'm bringing this little show to a close here in a minute, I was gonna say that I was talking to Jaden recently about this about coffee. It's like I don't drink hot coffee. I don't drink coffee a lot. I drink this canned coffees occasionally. Jaden's a coffee connoisseur. Jaden loves coffee. He'll buy all sorts of different. He buys all sorts of different brands and flavors. I'm sure he has his favorites, but he likes to try out new things. He's very much he's buying all sorts of different kinds of coffee. And the problem that I have with coffee being hot is that if you're making coffee, it's going to be hot. The only way you can really not get hot coffee is to water it down with ice. You throw ice in it to make quote unquote iced coffee. And then at that point, you're just watering out the flavor. But if you let coffee cool, like regular everyday coffee, if you let it cool, you lose that coffee flavor. And and also depending on the way that the coffee was made, you can get really bitter coffee sometimes. And if it's cold, it's even worse. I like coffee I like the coffee that comes in a can or in a bottle. I do like the bottled coffee too, but it's not as, I like the canned stuff the most because that's where you get the most amount of caffeine. You get those like espresso drinks and stuff. All right, that's it. That's 45 minutes. I got to get in here and unload these totes. So I'll spoke at you later.